This is Justin on for September 14th, 2022, looking at SPX. And there's just a couple things I wanted to point out that I noticed. So we didn't really gap, didn't clear the low from yesterday. It opened, so it wasn't really a gap, a little bit of an inside gap. So I wasn't really looking for anything till 9:30. That's kind of the rule, like an hour into the market. We had a really amazing inverted hammer right here, and I saw it form, and it immediately broke down. And it's like, okay, well, if 9:30 can get here, and then we put in some bull candle and trap that, and like maybe it'll roll back down. Nope, it just rallied. It just ran up. Actually, so we had so the 10 EMA triggered there, except it was within the first hour. And then we had a bull entry here that actually worked a little bit, and then nothing else really worked. Nothing like this one technically did trigger bearish. So that would have been a loss, I think, because you probably would have had a stop either here and like maybe you got a little bit of a gain. Maybe if your stop was pretty tight, like here, probably trailed out. Well, maybe didn't get stopped out. The next one that I saw that worked really well was playing into this double top here. And then you had a little bit of a consolidation, a little bit of a flag here. And this candle and this candle, similar to yesterday, we're kind of screaming, okay, we're about to go bearish and trapping the bulls. And sure enough, it triggered on the very next candle here. Well, this that one, not the next one after that. So two bull candles getting trapped, triggers here, and then it does a third candle, third bear bull candle right here. The really cool thing about this bull candle right here is that is the same place that you could have gotten in here and here, like the same price. So here, let me turn this off. We'll put the cursor on. I'm hovering the cursor right here. Look at that. So the same place that this hammer triggered the 10 EMA bearish played out later in the day. And nothing else did. So like here's a bull candle, same place, didn't trigger. Here's a bull candle, same place, didn't trigger. This one, same place, does trigger. So you could have been getting ready for it here and here. It's like, hey, what if we break this? That's kind of what happened yesterday. It's like, hey, we're putting in these lows. Could we break it? Well, we broke that early. And then we put in this low, didn't break it. Put in a low, didn't break it. Put a low, all right, broke it. Like get the trade ready to go and then get triggered in. The other really cool thing I noticed when I was looking at this is so what's going on right here on the options. So on the 39.50 call right here, you're getting a really similar setup. Like it's a bull candle below the 10 EMA. And then over here, you got a bear candle that, is right at the 10 EMA. But then later in the day, when this happens, you've got this here. So you got the same kind of thing, like bull candle below the 10, bull below the 10, bull below the 10, and it goes right there. So same kind of setup on the call, but the puts are way down here, like literally absolute zero. You could have just set it up, buy the option at that price, stop at zero, and just scalp it. And just, okay, let's see if we can get into this low. And what is this low? I mean, early in the day, that low, but can we get down to that price? Didn't get there here, probably would have needed to, well, yeah, we barely even made it back up to that low at like 4. So if you bought at 1, let's just use round numbers, buy at 1 and just scalp it for like 2R. So like get out at 3. And that would have been a really nice quick move. Midday, mid to late, well, I guess just midday, not late. So that was a really nice setup there, and especially doing the absolute zero. It didn't have the real potential of that big rollover like we had yesterday. So it was really just a choppy day. We ended up with pretty much a doji candle here. We were trapping any bears late in the day. So, this was a bear trap right here, below this low. Put in a slightly lower low than yesterday. So that was trapping the bears. Bulls came in and ran that back up. And then we just chopped through here for a while. This kind of looks like a cup and handle, but then it didn't go bullish. And then we got below this low late in the day in here, where we again trapped a bunch of bulls. I'm sorry, trapped a bunch of bears who were looking to push this shorter. Here's some bear candles coming in, if you squint, you can go down to like a 1 minute. This is the 3 minute, but this kind of looks like a double bottom in here, and then like didn't really get much of a neckline retest. It just rallied into the end of the day. Otherwise, this would have been a bearish candle here, and then it would be really cool to have some sort of like a gap up from a bear candle and trap some folks and see if we can get some retracement. Maybe not all 4 of the candles like this, but some retracement back up a little bit. I didn't mean to draw that all the way back up there, but maybe that's fortuitous. I don't know. But there are definitely some opportunities in here to play some candles. The bull opportunities, I mean, you would have had to know this is a trap, and then this is a trap. The 39.50 option with 39.50 call definitely was not working there late in the day. I mean, the 39.40 did end up getting into the money. What did that just do? That's so here's the call. This was getting down to, yeah, so this was really inexpensive late in the day. Let me try and zoom in on this real quick. There we go. So another opportunity to do like absolute zero, actually even better than that. Let me just zoom in on this right through here. So you could have bought at 1, even bought at 50. So get 2 contracts for 50 each. Looking for this to reverse just like it did earlier in the day, and it's absolute zero. So like you're risking that whole amount, and then the potential is, what if we have a end of the day rally? Like we had an end of the day crush yesterday, we had an end of the day rally today. Sure enough, we ran up. Could have waited to buy at 1 once you get some of the movement going in that direction. 39.40 is still pretty far away. Like I don't recommend holding to the last 3 minutes of the market close. So probably exiting at like 2 or 3 if you bought at 50 or 50 cents or a dollar. The 30, let's see, what was the low there? That was right at a dollar. So there you go. So the 39.30 call, that was a low right at a dollar. The range in these candles was a little bit too large. I don't like that. Maybe the 39.35. Maybe that one. Let's see what this was doing. So this came down to 50. So this gave you the opportunity to buy absolute zero again here. So 39.35 would have been another good one. And then this one you could have actually held from buying at like 1 up a little bit, probably into the resistance here or even here. So that would have been a run up into like 6, maybe 8. 8 would have been within 6 minutes of the end of the market or expiration today. So that's still a little bit risky. Like what if you have a computer issue, something like that? You don't want to be wondering, did I get out? Is it in the money? You know, what's the broker going to do? That kind of stuff. So anyway, there was more than I really meant to go over with these different options, but this is how quickly you can do it when you're looking at toss and being able to punch in the chart and just see, okay, where's that at? Or, you know, when you're doing this live, to look at the trade tab and see what are the option prices. Can I get something absolute zero? Can I play it like that? You know, it is a bit of a gamble that, you know, we're going to have a rally into the close and not just go flat. You still have an opportunity to get out of something. You just got to do it quick. So if it doesn't start moving, just get out, and you know, you save yourself some headaches and lose much less than an R, but you're set up to lose an R if you can't get out. There's that too. So there was yeah, some pretty good movement. Like this is really where I'm getting a feel for how is this moving. You know, this big bear day, and then, you know, somewhat of some rallies here. Like this was the other thing to say, okay, what if we can rally here? We did it earlier from this price, like we rallied twice today, like same kind of rally, and then we rested here and we closed like here or rested there. Like it's not out of the question that from this same level could we just run up, and this would have been great to be in. I'd rather be in this one because you can have the option premium really explode. If you did the one earlier, you really need to put in a lot more premium, have a stop in place, or you're in an option that's much, I'm pointing at the wrong one. it'd be something like that. That's that trade that way. Let's look at 50. Let's see what this did earlier. Yeah, so this is just a blind buy. You don't know if it's going to start to move up. You got to probably be on a 1 minute or a 2 minute. If you go a lot further out, like 39.75, that's where you can get something where the risk is a lot smaller. So these range candles are under a buck. So that helps. So you're kind of getting in, like the high here was 260, 260. Yeah. So maybe you're in 275 by 175. That's a little tight. It does have a really nice move here, but I mean, it's still, it could immediately just revert. Like, what are you buying off of right here is really the question. Just the candle, bullish engulfing candle. I mean, maybe, but it is really a blind buy. Over here, it is a blind buy, but it did it earlier, and you have absolute zero in your favor that you can risk the entire premium of the option, not worry about slippage on a stop, things like that. And I don't mean worry, but maybe I do. You know, you're worried about losing more than an R or something, or slippage. That can happen, you know. But then it's a matter of finding the right option later in the day. Like, how do you pick this one quickly? You know, it's getting a feel for how is this option moving late in the day. You know, so you can be watching this. It's like, oh, this is just going sideways all through here. You know, let me just get into this. Or, you know what, it's only come down to $1, even with that push lower. Let me go a little further out. You know, like, think about it, percentage of it getting, or the percentage move on SPX, which is 39.35. I'm sorry. Let me say it again. The percentage move when it's at 39.20 to get to 39.30 or 39.35, it's so incredibly small. I don't even know what the percentage is. I'm just saying it's like that much more of a move when you're having a potential rally into the close. It's more likely, well, not more likely, but the potential is still there that it could have that move. It's a very small percentage of the overall stock price, or index price. So we'll see what we can do to get some of these set up. But a lot of trades are setting up. Keep an eye out for the 10 EMA. When these levels come in, it's like if I had just drawn in the entry here and then watched that price all day, should have seen it here. I like the entry a little better here, but still, the put hardly moved at that point. Like, it still gave you the same opportunity, even though it started to move in that direction, because it still had a little more than 2 hours till expiration. So the premium wasn't going to be sucked back into the option until it actually got going, like a bigger candle like this. And by that, it's like you probably missed it. But depending on which strike, you could actually have enough of a pullback to get in, knowing, okay, yeah, it triggered, it confirmed, quote unquote, confirmed here. It had already done that, triggered here. So it's like you can already get in, but if you missed it, just get into it later and scalp, or wait for the same setup and then just count, because it's like 1, 2, 3, here's another 4, 5 bull candles. Like, how much further could it really push down? Yeah, it can totally push down to the same level. It ultimately did, but it did have a bigger retracement here. So that allowed you some opportunity to get in, actually back down at 1, and then still scalp it back up to like 2. So that still could have worked to get in here, even though the trade, it had triggered here, the same price worked over here. This is what I'm still trying to figure out with how this moves. Even if the setup, I get the setup over here and I can get in here, the way the option moves, I could still get in the same option price here, looking for that to be the S curve and it roll. Just, I won't have as big of a gain because that first one sucked a lot of the premium out on that bigger move. And then this one, it's like, okay, maybe I don't hold as high. And I say that, but that is exactly what happened yesterday in a big bear candle. But that had a lot more going for it. That had trapping bulls here, bulls here, bulls here. Like that, this was really well, planned out. Like with some folks I trade with, this was going to happen basically, or the potential was there. Today was just expecting a choppy day. But I do like that we held below that low. That price worked all day to be support until it didn't, and then it was resistance here, couldn't even get back up to it. some chop sideways. That's kind of the best part. Some chop sideways right around the $1 price. Easy to get in for $1. Even just a scalp from 1 to, let's see, did it get to 2? No, it didn't quite. Oh wait, no, it didn't quite get to 2 until over here. So anyway, all right, I'm rambling on. There's plenty more I could look at this, but I hope this helps. This is Justin. Thanks.